2019, 5:30 p.m. And we have a quorum. I'll call the meeting to order. And so the first order of business is approve the minutes for the last regular meeting. Has everyone had a chance to read over the minutes?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, minutes are accepted as written. The next order of business that we have is to nominate officers for the following year, and I will turn the meeting over to our attorney, Daniel Ings, for that purpose.
All right, do we have a motion to nominate a chairman?
I make a motion about Carter,
Second.
Chairman.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Vote passes. I turn the meeting back over to the chairman.
Thank you. The next order is to elect a vice chairman for a one-year term. Do I have a motion to nominate a vice chairman?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Graham Coates.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Congratulations. The next order of business, new business, is a request for variance setbacks. Property located at 182 Suncrest Drive, R1, low-density residential zoning district. Parcel is owned by Anastasia Bayrote. May we have the report, please?
Thank you. This request is for variance to the setbacks on this lot that's located at 182 Suncrest Drive. And the zoning is R1. And you can see it's in a very large area. All the orange area is R1 that's on the screen. Here's some photos of the property. So this is from Suncrest Drive, and there's a fence that's located here in these trees, and it looks like the distance from the road to this fence is around 80 feet. I wasn't able to measure it, but I'm going to say in the neighborhood of 80 to 90 feet. So there's a very large area here before you even get to this fence, and then the home is even further back, as you can see here where the red dot is. So zooming in a little, you can see the fence a little bit better, and this is the end of the house. So this narrow portion of the house is what actually faces Suncrest. So part or a big reason that they need to come to BOZA is just so that the BOZA can get their eyes on it and determine, make a determination how they wish as to what is the front of the home. I don't know that there's any answer that's right or wrong. It just is that you all need to see it, and it needs to be on record of what is the front and what's the back. So it's a very long house. You can see it here. And it looks like it predates all of these neighboring homes. So it was there a long time before they came in, and then they all built to this standard setback, which is, you can see here from the aerial. But obviously this house was there before all of that. So I did print off pictures so you can see them close up in your packets. And then in this photo, I believe this is a boat of some kind that's back here, and it appears roughly in this area is where they're requesting to build this new structure, which is a barn, more or less, with a lean-to. And the dimensions I gave are 36 by 26, so that's somewhere around 936 square feet, so just under 1,000. And then there's another photo. Again, you can see the very narrow end, what would typically be the end of the house, is actually facing Suncrest Drive. And then this is gravel drive, and you can see, I don't know if it's a sailboat or exactly what it is, but some kind of boat there on the right. And that completes the report. Thank you.
Okay. Did you have any calls pertinent to the sign-up?
I had one call about the sign, but they were just curious what the sign was about.
Thank you. Is there a representative here tonight? Would you step up to the podium, please?
I'm the homeowner, Anastasia.
You're the homeowner.
Yes.
And
This is my husband, Ron.
would you raise your right hand, please? You're both going to testify?
Yeah.
Okay. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Would you both state your name and address for the purpose of the record?
My name is Anastasia Bayrod, and our address is 182 Suncrest Drive here in Laverne.
I'm Ronald Bayrod, 182 Suncrest Drive in Laverne.
Okay, thank you. You heard the report. You have any comments to add, change, or?
Well, I understand that the question is which is the front of the house, I think is the main question here, is we would like to build a garage behind the house, which is more or less where that dark GMC pickup is on that end. And if you look from an aerial view or even from this side of the house, there's clearly a.
Would you do that, would you do that over there? We can see it. We can't see this one. We can't see this screen.
Oh, it's the same one, okay, I'm sorry. But the front of the house is, here, do you mind if I go over there?
Go right ahead.
The front of the house is right above those trees.
You want to use this, sir?
There's actually a large gable and a 20-foot front porch
Sir,
with a front door. So, I mean,
do you want to use this? Just so they can get a better idea.
oh yeah, that'd be great. Basically, right here is the front of our house. That's a front porch. There's a gable there. It's probably 22 feet wide or so. And like y'all mentioned before, that house was basically there before any of that was, so we don't have any control over there.
Using that light, point out where you want to put the barn.
We would like to put it right there.
Okay.
And my request to my husband and my capable brother is that they keep it looking similar to the home itself, the original structure, so it just blends in better, and it's not, you know, like a big white building or whatever on that property.
It'll be a better part of 200 feet away from the street.
We've also gone around to all of the neighbors and showed them what we were thinking about doing and had them sign, I guess, acceptance letters or whatever. That you should have copies of those.
They all
And
see-
everybody
Yeah,
agreed that it was fine.
actually, here's another one that came in late if y'all are interested, but we sent them all a
And
letter
it-
with a,
Yeah, and this gentleman is actually a firefighter.
okay.
He's our next door neighbor.
And everybody agreed?
yeah, everybody was fine. I think in that packet we turned in, there was 6 or 7 of those.
Okay.
Local.
It's kind of nice to have an area where everybody agrees with one
Yeah,
another.
everybody gets along well, yeah.
That's why we lived there so long,
How long have you lived there?
since
2010?
2010, so 9 years, almost 10
Any
years.
board members have any questions?
So the building, proposed building will be the same color as the house?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
correct.
correct.
And just for technicalities, can we give it, we'd like to set a dimension of where you intend to put it from the property line from the side facing. So what we'd like to do is to agree to a number, because obviously at the moment, if it were to pass, it's quite open. But
Right.
I'd like to get more specific, so when codes do come around, that we're in agreement of X amount,
They can
that
measure,
dimension is in the correct position.
Correct.
Understood.
Yes.
So from the, looking at the picture there on the left side, what would be the dimension no less than from the property line? Where would you want to put the building?
From the property line on the left?
On the left side, yes.
Nick, what do you think is the
I'd say 15
15 to 20 feet?
So when I get to it, I don't want you, if it were to pass, to put it on the property line. I want to get it away from the property lines. I want to make sure we agree to a number that you can live with and we can live with.
Sure, we can live
Okay.
with 15 feet.
So no less than 15 feet from the property line.
That'd be,
Correct.
sure.
And from there, looking at that, that'll be the back of the house. I mean, I'm just looking at the regulations. See, depending on where the house is positioned on the R1, which you're in, the rear is 25 feet and the side is 15. And the front setback is 40. Obviously, you're going to meet that intent. So I just want the board, let's get a specific number so that they agree with and we can live with, so they don't put it on the fence line. And we have these upset neighbors coming back
Oh,
to see it.
offset off of the Suncrest Drive side?
No, off the left.
As long as we're talking about that, you said the rear is 25 feet. though.
25 feet for R1, yes.
And that appears to be the rear of the house, does it not?
It is, on the right-hand side.
On the
is
right-hand side there, yes, that is.
That's
the rear of the
correct.
But the reason is because even if you take the front of the house on the right-hand side, they're going outside the envelope of not being behind the house. So that's why I want to get an exact dimension of what we're going to do.
Right. Any other questions by board members? So we'll note that you said 15 feet
From the property line.
from the property line, from the property line, between the barn and the property line.
Are you gonna use this for garage or something like that?
Yeah,
Garage
Basically.
and pull a boat underneath there, keep it out of the weather.
the garage was, when we bought it, it was closed in, so
Yeah,
that,
that actually was the garage.
yeah, that's what you're looking at. It was closed in and it's under air. And so we do have a shed, but clearly we need a garage. We've got, 3 adults living there with,
Well, you speak as to it being a garage. Is it actually going to be a closed-in garage, or is it going to be a lean-to?
Yes, it will be a closed-in garage with a lean-to on one side, more or less a carport on one side. I think we've got some engineering drawings if you'd like to.
Yeah, they're up there.
Okay.
And the boat will fit in that lean-to area?
Yes, sir.
So that, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the variance and proviso that they are no less than 15 feet from the property line.
No problem.
Do I have a second?
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the petition at 15 feet, no less than 15 feet. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's approved.
Very good.
thank you, gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The second item of new business is a request for a special exception to allow a recycling facility. The property is located at 393 Mason Road, Heavy Industrial Zoning District. And may we have the report on that, Bo?
Yes, the next applicant is requesting to use a property on Mason Road as a recycling facility. Currently, the lot is vacant, and you can see from some of the photos, this is a corner lot on Mason Road, and I believe the side street there is Sanders. And you can see there is a for sale sign at the property, and it's a wooded lot, heavily wooded, and right now it's vacant. So it is zoned I-2, and in the zoning ordinance, a recycling facility is required to go to BOSA for a special exception. So that's why they're here tonight. And if they do get approved for the special exception, the building initially that they're showing is just under 10,000 square feet. And that'd be the size of the building. And I think the height shown was about 30 feet high. So I know through some phone discussions, we've had a few people that were interested in recycling facilities in Laverne, but one of them was an oil recycling facility for used oil, and I don't know if this is that facility, so they'll need to talk to you all about that, or if this is for some other type of material. We've had a few, and I've gotten some phone calls from different applicants. And it is zoned I-2, which all of Mason Road is. You can see there the dark blue color is I-2. So there's an ag area that touches it. This area to the east is agricultural, and then the homes start pretty soon. So there's a home right here on this corner. So there's a few homes that are close by. And I think that completes the report. Thank you.
Representative here for the state, podium, please. Are you both going to testify?
I'm sorry?
Are you both going to testify?
Yes.
Would you state your names and addresses for the record, please? And I'll swear you in then.
I'm Greg Harris with Infield Group at 503 East Iris Drive in Nashville.
I'm Scott Gardner. My address is 1226 Beach Hill Road in Brentwood, Tennessee.
You swear to tell the truth, raise your right hand. Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Okay. All right. You heard the report. Is there anything you want to add to it?
You want to go over the
Sure,
operation?
yeah. So what we're proposing is a recycling facility intended for strictly C&D use or waste, okay? C&D is construction and demolition. There is no wet trash, so to speak, which is called MSW, which are coffee grounds and banana peels. We don't take that. That's a completely different process. What we do, we're a small hauler. I own a company called Red Dog Dumpsters. Think like it's a 1-800-GOT-JUNK kind of company, small truck like that. You come, drop off a container, you fill it up, throw your old couch away, that three-legged chair, what have you, the old, stove that doesn't work. So then we take that container and we bring it to our facility where we then separate the recyclables, and that's what happens inside our building. So the trucks pull in, they empty their containers behind closed doors. We separate the material at that time. It's then repurposed to said, recycling facilities, or in many cases it goes to a different landfill. Nothing stays on premise. It's just part of the process of, how we're able to separate the material, compact it, and position it out to a landfill.
How much of the materials would ever be found stored outside in the elements
None.
at any time?
At any time, no, there's no reason, no, we'll store empty containers, which is the reason for that. I don't know if we have the drawings that we've shared, but there's a big open area for containers. I wish our containers were out in the field 24/7. They're not, so we need a place to store them. So a lot of this, majority of this land is really used as storage. The facility itself is roughly 10,000 square feet. It's an 80 by 120 square foot, or foot kind of building. There'll be an office in there. That's kind of the gist of it.
Okay, so there shouldn't be any odor or anything from that facility?
No, and that's it's certainly, we're regulated by the state of Tennessee. We'll apply for a strictly C&D license, which means we are not permitted whatsoever to have any of that kind of waste. So, you're looking at old building materials, big wheels, boxes, that kind of stuff. That's, those are the kind of materials that we take when we bring our containers in. And it happens from time to time that somebody might throw a bag or load the whole thing up with that kind of waste. We're obligated to take it to a different facility. There's another kind of MSW recycling plant up here in Antioch, and that's where you take it.
Okay.
Hours of operation?
Normal business hours, I don't know, 7 to 3, 7 to 4,
Monday through,
Friday.
You're going to have weekend hours?
For that facility, no.
Okay. Any other questions by board members?
how many storage units would be on the property and where would they be?
You'll come up and show us some maps.
So this is all paid parking where the trucks maneuver, and this is the additional storage for containers that are not out in the field. And how many? Here's the building itself. How many typically were stored?
Well, we have 300 containers at this time. On average, we deploy about 80%, 80 to 90% of our inventory, so.
Okay, and the homes are, I
50 to
think, here.
60.
On the corner. Graham?
And the entrance gonna come off of Sanders Drive?
I'm sorry?
The entrance gonna come off of Sanders Drive?
Well, there is an entrance there, so, our trucks, the thought is our trucks will pull in there. That would be a gated, turn in there, off of Sanders Drive, turn left into the facility, where you'd be checked in. And then this would be the staging area where you see that, the dark gray road, is not to inhibit any kind of traffic. No one will ever see us up there. Well, then, the main entrance is actually on this private driveway that I believe is that I know is ours, would be ours. And there's no road name, but as you pull off of Mason Road, to the right, that would be a private driveway that is owned by this parcel.
Have you looked at our ordinance 4.110? They're the requirements that you have to play with if this gets approved. I'll make sure you've read that fully, because from some of the things you said, you may not meet those requirements. That's number one. Number two, you said the building's going to be 10,000 square feet?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not keen on this, gentleman. It's very close to some existing homes, and that concerns me. In the industrial area, we have some very other businesses that don't match in with this type of scenario, and I'm just not keen on it all the way around. I just think there's some issues. I don't think it's the right fit for it, and I have some concerns.
Okay. Any comments to the other board members? Would you like to address
Well,
his reservations?
I think one important thing to remember is that everything's gonna be inside the building, and, can't stress that enough, that all this working and, with the construction debris will be inside. There won't be any noise, there won't be any odors, no one will even know what's going on inside the building. There's no advertisement, this is not open to the public, so it's private only, so you're not gonna have a lot of people driving and wanting to dump things off, so it'll strictly be the owner's, his trucks coming in, doing their thing, dropping it off, and then they're out. So you're not going to have a lot of traffic from individuals trying to drop anything off.
Understanding you're here for this board for the variance, but at 10,000 square feet, you understand you have to sprinkle the building?
Yes,
You're aware of that?
yes.
And just moving forward, I'll read this to you, but you got to put a fence around the building? That's a
Yes.
requirement, you understand that?
Yes.
What materials are the building going to be made out of, and what the colors are going to be?
Haven't really decided on that yet. I figured we would probably have to come back, at some point and present that. We talked about a metal building as one option. There could be a split face block, that's another option, something like that.
And you are correct, that is the next step as you go through, if it were to pass here to go through the planning, and I'm just trying to get an idea of what it's going
Yeah.
to visualise, look like if we were to approve this.
One other thing that we've proposed on sheet C2 is landscaping around the building. We've got fencing, we've got landscaping. The fencing would have a screen, so that you can't see through the fence. So we're trying to blend in, hide ourselves, and we don't want to be seen by the public. That's we want to be good neighbors, obviously, but we don't want anybody coming around trying to visit because they don't have any business being there.
Well, one of your requirements, further requirements, is an opaque fence having a minimum height of 6 feet must be installed along any property lines adjacent to the residential or commercial zoning areas.
sir.
I'm just reading from the book, just telling you
Yeah,
what to be.
Yeah.
and
I'm just-
we do have that around the building.
I'm just concerned that you didn't look at the requirements.
Yeah, we have
that
that.
does concern me. You have them, so you're aware of them?
Oh, yeah.
Very
that's-
much so. I think they're
that's-
shown in our
That's why we
drawings.
tried to address that on the drawings.
You're saying around the building, or about the whole property we're talking about? The
Yeah,
fence- the fence.
it's not around, we're not doing it around the entire property. We're gonna leave that as green space.
Okay.
But we'll have landscaping and a fence to shield and buffer the building.
What about the dumpsters back here? You gonna be sitting back here?
Exactly, yes, same thing, landscape and fence around those.
Well, going back to your question there, the rule says, I'll just read to you, the opaque fence having a minimum height of 6 feet must be installed along any property line adjacent to residential, commercial zoning district. So, it's going to have to be all the way around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can expand that.
That's just, I'm just reading from our regs,
And also on the east side, we have a 50-foot landscape buffer, so we've got quite a large buffer from the agricultural zoning and the residential.
I'll open the floor for a motion to approve or disapprove the petition.
I'm going to make a motion to deny the applicant, and my reasoning is one, it's very close to adjacent residential properties, and two, I don't think it's the right fit for the area.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second, I agree. I think it's too close to residential, not the right fit.
We'll take a vote on it. Mr. Goodwin?
No?
Whereas it's going to be either, it's yes for, or aye for agreeing with the motion to deny.
An aye vote means that you deny the petition.
Yes, I vote.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm the only one that votes no, but the majority rules and your petition is denied. And the reason it's denied is it's too close to the residential, it's not a fit for that area. Sorry. There being no further business for this meeting tonight, I call adjournment for this meeting.